learn with us on Bass University Live. Bass University Live starts now. Welcome to Bass University Live, everybody. Good to have you with us. Excited. John Cox is going to be with us. Love talking to John. Shallow water guy through and through, and just all around great guy, big time pro. Done so well out on tour, going against the grain, fishing shallow when everybody says no, fishing shallow when they say yes, fishing shallow, fishing shallow, fishing shallow. So it's a lot of fun. His style is fun. His attitude is always great, and looking forward to having him on the show. He's just he'll be with us here in just a minute. He's out on the water, right? Well, was out on the water down there in Florida, looking catching some of the hot summertime bass in Florida. How's that going on? How's he doing that? What are the patterns that are going on down in Florida right now? Well, we're going to ask him, and you guys bring your questions. And we'll pass them right on through. Jay Fears, good to have you with us. How to catch bass in hot summer in Florida shallow water. That's what's coming. You can bet on it. Lord Funko, good to have you with us, buddy. Love the handle. Chuck Fish, what's up? What's up, buddy? And Scott, good to have you with us. As usual, good to have you guys with us today. It's going to be a great show. And John will be with us here in just a minute. Have you downloaded the new Bass U app? Get it done. Get over there to Bass U 2.0. Whether you're Android or Apple user, get the app downloaded and get to learning, especially this week. A really great seminar from Pake South, who is a phenom from Texas, talking about fishing a big worm. And you guys that are on the Tennessee River chain and all the summertime lakes, you know what a powerful weapon that is to catch numbers and catch size. And I'm talking about 10, 12-inch, even bigger at times. Guys go for that big profile because the bass go for it. It's amazing. I've experienced it. You think, man, I'm throwing this massive bait. I'm going to be fishing for big fish, but it's amazing. The little fish bite it too. And the little ones won't go for the small baits. You know, they want that big, long profile a lot of times in the summertime. And Pake talks about it and teaches us about it. So you want to check that out. And Tristan McCormick is going to be with us next week. Is going to be our next week's release. And if you guys have watched Tristan, if you've been able to capture him on social or on his live stuff, he is a really excellent teacher. Another younger angler that's taken the world by storm. He's going to be talking about the other side of it, drop shot and finesse. So look for that coming from him on Bass University next week. Here's some other news. A lot of you guys know. Anybody going to ICAST? We're headed down to ICAST. We'll be leaving next week. Always love going to that event, especially these days. I get to see everybody that we work with, all of the great speakers, instructors, and partners, sponsor partners of ours. Look forward to seeing everybody down there. Good to have you with us, Matt. Good morning. And we're going to be headed that way. But here's some highlights. And let me know who you guys would like us to work from. Who you would like to see some Bass University seminars from. But here are some of the key guys that I'm excited about that we're going to be working with down there this year. Trey McKinney is going to be with us. Trey is unbelievable in his ability to top 10 and win tournaments at such a young age. So we're going to be working with Trey, as well as Fisher Anaya, who is also one at the top level in his first year and is just a really great personality and a great teacher for such a young kid with so much experience. Yes, sir. McKinney and Anaya, they're going to be with us. MDJ, one of our favorites, been with us for a long time, and we're going to get some some great teaching from MDJ down there, as well as Chris Johnston, who is, uh, part of the Johnston brothers, who are just overwhelmingly dominant out on the Bassmaster Elite Series. That's just a few of the guys that we're going to be working with down at ICAST this year. So look for that to be happening. Caleb Hudson, excellent choice, and we likely are going to be working with a lot of guys that we don't even know we're working with yet, because we once we get down there at ICAST, we're able to communicate with guys that are down there at the ICAST show and try to rally them into the Bass University seminar booth to do some teaching. So we look forward to. We'll look up Caleb. Hopefully, he'll be down there at ICAST this year. So we're looking forward to that. That's going on. It's thump gel season, guys. Summertime, the heat, scent plays such a big factor in the hot and cold water seasons. So make sure you get some thump gel and help you get a few more bites when you're putting it on your urchin bait. That's what we do with it. It works. It works extremely well. That bait is taking the world by storm. So it is thump gel season. What else do we got going on? We are preparing here at my house for the upcoming high school national, and we have been spending an immense amount of time with the Lake Master mapping on the One Boat Network from Humminbird. We're at the comfort of our home in our living room. Jake and I are doing map studies. We're playing a lot with this. Is a really, really cool feature, and I want you guys to take advantage of this. Depth is such a big factor in the summertime, and identifying which depth zones that you're going to be targeting. It seems like in a lot of the lakes, the ledge lakes, June is such a prime time to be out into that deeper water zone. And then you get kind of a shallower water movement, it seems, on a lot of those waterways. So we're going to be we're spending time with the Lake Master mapping, which has excellent mapping of the entire Tennessee River chain from Kentucky to Guntersville and Chickamauga and Pickwick and Wilson and all the rest. And but what it allows you to do is really dial in with by color coding the different depth zones that you're interested in targeting, whether it's 0 to 5 feet, 0 to 2 feet, to 15 to 20 is a zone you're interested in. You can really dial into that on any particular part of the lake system, and it really helps you break down and become very, very efficient about how you go about practicing for a big body of water like that. So we're excited about it. It's the Bassmaster Bassmaster Nation High School National Championship. Jake Gluzek and Jack Weisenberger have won the state championship. You guys probably get tired of me bragging on them, but I'm excited about that tournament. We're going to be taking off at the end of July. It's going to be hot summertime fishing, so we're gearing up for that. And staying cool is a big problem. I'm excited to ask John about that. The hot summer time is overwhelming on your system. What are you doing to stay cool? Liquid IV, Gatorade, water, pounding the waters. Staying cool is such a big factor, because one of the things that guys that don't fish in the summer or deal with in the summer is that fatigue that comes, not only the physical fatigue but the mental fatigue. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Like I get it. It's brain fog that I get in the summertime, where man, you can't shake it. You start getting foggy, decision making, losing interest, that kind of thing. And a lot of times what I'll do to overcome that is jump in the water. Now, all right, you guys have all seen me do that by accident, but I do it on purpose in the summertime to keep myself cool and keep myself ready to go in the summertime. So That's a big deal. Staying cool in the hot summertime. What what's going on around here as I'm looking at some of my notes for John. But we're going to be talking about Florida and southern lakes. Let's talk about a little bit about what's going on in our part of the country. I know um, up north they're still dealing with the end of the spawn, especially for some smallmouth lakes. So that's going on up north. It's post spawn in most places. The trips that I've been involved with in the last couple of weeks around my house has all been about the post spawn and the very beginnings of the summertime patterns. Now, I fish a lot of shallow water on the river systems, the Delaware River, the Chesapeake. What's up, Steve? Good to have you with us. Good to have, as well as you too, Frank. Good to have you with us this morning. Um, the fish are starting to migrate into their main river, main creek summertime patterns on systems like the Delaware River. I started seeing that. We were out over the weekend and catching fish with all the great tools that are available to us on those river systems. It's really the ABC of bass fishing when you're talking about something like the Delaware. It's a spinner bait, it's a crankbait, it's a jig, and a shaky head. It's like one, two, three, four. Getting on the main river current, fishing around eelgrass, fishing around current breaks, and what happens is the fish pull out of those protected areas in the spring, and they get out into that current, and that is such a big summertime pattern for us around here is finding that current. That's where all the food is, and that's where the bass are going to position themselves. And so that's what's going on here at my house. And there he is, the man, John Cox. Good morning, John. I know
Morning, Pete.
that looked like an energy drink, man.
Man, I am I'm exhausted. I have a problem. Like when you're catching fish, it's like, oh man, we got to go. We got to go this morning. We got to go this evening, and and then I'm gonna head to Minnesota in the morning and
What?
do a little fishing up there for a couple of days with some of my buddies, and then come back and get ready for ICAST.
Man, it's nonstop for you. That's good, as it should be, as it should
Yeah,
be. But
yeah, yeah.
I expected you to be hydrating with like a gallon of ice water
I
and being out in that sun all day.
Yeah, I have been definitely drinking a lot of water, and I'm pretty I'm kind of overhydrated, I think, right now. So
It's
I
hot,
figured,
man. What's it like down there? It's been the 100-degree mark down there.
yeah. So I was in Alabama last week for a little bit, and
Mm,
I just started fishing here when I got home on Monday, and man, it's extremely hot. It's in the mornings, if we had some rain in the evening, we might see 73 to 75. But I mean, we loaded up and it was already in the 90s. So it's very warm here in Florida. I actually I had the center console out today, so I actually had the water temp, and it was 87. When we were leaving, so it's really warm,
wow.
and but fish are biting, so it was a lot of fun. We caught a ton of them this morning, so.
That's
It was,
well. Talk. What's happening? How are you catching them in Florida
yeah,
right now?
yeah. So what's wild is especially this time of year it gets so hot. You're always like normally you're like looking for current, rivers, somewhere that has some kind of flow because it gets so stagnant. But another scenario we have going on right now are the lakes are really low around the house, and
Mm,
so you got them all concentrated with the low water. We also they've actually done quite a bit of spraying in the one lake we were in this morning, and kind of wiped out everything out in the middle where those fish usually are in the summertime. And we got a bad algae bloom on top of it. And man, it has put the fish on the bank. Like they are all, from like, I mean, you're on the bottom hitting mud with the trolling motor, catching them that shallow, and then all the way out to about 2 feet or so. And it was incredible. Last night was incredible. This morning was good. I mean, it was just, and
that's awesome.
it's really cool how you can follow those fish too, because first thing in the morning, you get it's nice and cloudy and stuff, and they're kind of spread out. Like everybody in the boat was catching them all around the boat. And as the sun got up, they got tighter and started following those shade lines. And as those shade lines shrunk, got them tighter and tighter to the shore. So it's cool following them. And I'll show you the couple baits we were getting them on. And this one here is the Berkeley Power Blade. This is one of my favorite ones. It's a compact. It's got the weight uh, in the shaft of the hook, so
Mm-hmm.
it's really like the size of a quarter, um, but it's a half ounce, so you can reel it fast. I like the double willow, so you can keep it moving. They did such a good job on this bait because they put, you're normally having to run a trailer hook on there. Um, but this hook, the shank of this hook goes so far back that I'd never throw a trailer hook on it, and it hooks them great. And I got the little flat nose max scent minnow on the back. That's been my little trick to spinner baiting for I don't know how long, and
That's awesome.
that's one of my favorite. That's what worked really well. Low light wind. We caught a ton on that, and then as it got warmer, and they kind of were getting closer to the bank, kind of more on the bottom. They weren't quite coming up for anything. I was using the right here, the old slobber knocker. And I think the key thing, a lot of this, we're just burying it up in the grass and snapping it free. But man, I got the Lab Series minnow on the back. And, it's very similar because I don't know, when Talk was floating his chatter and he was throwing like the big rubber fish on it or whatever, it was floating high, staying it high in the water column. Well, the Labs minnow's got an air pocket in it, and it kind of does the same thing, kind of keeps it from burying up in that grass and
I
kind of
got
floats right over it. And that did the best today. I don't know, we probably caught 20 or 30 on that one today. So it was
man.
a pretty neat, pretty cool day.
That's a
But
lot of fish, man. How
yeah,
many fish did you catch today?
I don't know. So there was 7 of us in the boat. So they didn't stand a chance. We had lines going all different directions. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, we probably I mean maybe 40 or 50. I don't know. I mean,
How do you manage? I mean, that's a bigger boat, right?
yeah.
But how do you manage 7 people? That's
Oh, it,
pandemonium.
it it's wild. I mean, the whole goal is for no one to get hooked. That's like we don't care. We don't catch anything. It's fine. We get stuck, no big deal. But we do not want to get hooked. So that's pretty much the main thing. And but it was good. That boat I'm fishing out. I'm fishing out of the 2210 that Vexus has, is center console. Man, it's super nice, sturdy. It's aluminum, but I mean,
Mhm.
you would never even know. And man, it was just, even last year when we had, I mean, it's so great. I mean, it's Coast Guard rated for 9 people, and it's got plenty of seating, and so it's like having a really cool pontoon boat, when you can load everybody up, and
Yeah,
it's a
yeah.
lot better. But yeah,
That's
it
funny.
worked. It did pretty good.
John Cox party out there on the center console, man.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
like it. I like it.
yeah,
Those baits are shaddy. Is
yeah,
there like a shad spawn going on, or is that what you
yeah.
guys were finding, or
Well,
what?
I don't know if it was much of a shad spawn thing, but the water is such a bad algae bloom that
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're losing visibility within inches, So, and I think that's what's keeping them close to the shore, I think, and yeah, I mean, and they're probably, I don't really know if there's much shad in that lake we were in or not,
Huh.
and that was what was weird was we had another, I mean, we got 7 or 8 people casting at one time, and the shad stuff was just dominated. Like it didn't, like any of the green pumpkin chatters with the crawl on the back didn't do well. Any kind of bluegill imitation didn't do well at all. And I don't know if it was maybe
Hmm.
they couldn't see it, or I don't know. But yeah, it
Uh,
was definitely, I didn't even put that together, but it definitely, the shad pattern was uh that's what they wanted.
Yeah, yeah, it's interesting, and I love
Yeah.
that flat nose worm and the spinnerbait trailer.
Yeah,
That's one of
yeah,
your
that flat
go
nose.
tos.
Yeah, so when I started doing that, so with the max scent, it always attracts all the bait fish. Like anytime you're throwing any kind of max scent, it's like, whether you have it as a jig trailer, or how I have it on that spinner bait, or just even Texas rig or Carolina rig, it always gets the bait fish biting it. And it's like, when shad spawn's going, I mean, it is even like bluegill, like it's crazy when you're reeling that bait back with that, with that flat nose minnow on the back with the max scent. It's crazy the amount of bait fish that follow it, you know.
Right.
And not to jump subjects, but what what I've not seen anything close to that, this thing here is this is nuts for having bait fish follow this thing. It's the same thing as that, and now we have this one in max scent, and it's the same thing. You get bluegills nibbling on it. I mean, everything you can think of. And I think that's why, we're like, what is this thing looking like? And what it is, it's just attracting so much bait, that they're
Yeah.
like, what are they looking at? So
Yeah.
um, but that's cool. I mean, I've caught like maybe 5 fish on it ever, but it catches them. Everybody else is hammering them on it.
No
And
kidding. I would have thought you would have been like first on the bandwagon with
Nah,
this technique.
well, so my problem was hookups, and like I always, even like when you're throwing big swim baits and stuff, your hookups are so. It always scares me in tournaments when you can't hook a fish, especially if like me. A lot of times I'm only getting 5 bites a day, so it really makes me nervous in tournament time.
Mm.
But messing with it some, and now that we have we have them in max scent, and they're not the what is it, the stretchy stuff, whatever the material is.
Yeah.
um Now that we have them in max scent, I do think the hookup's a little better with this one. um and you don't have to add weight to it, so that's the kind of cool thing. But I'm still
Yeah.
trying to different kinds of ways to hook it. I can't really tell you. I don't think I'm supposed to even show you this hook I have in this one right now, but it but we're trying a lot of different things to increase the hookups with it. But I
Yeah,
don't know.
it is a problem. We wrestle with it ourselves. The strike to catch is critical, but that's an
Mm,
interesting perspective from your angle. Like, man,
mm-hmm,
I'm only getting 5 bites a day. I got to
mm-hmm.
get them in the boat. I can't
Yeah.
afford to have a miss happen. And I have yet to see a rigging system on that particular bait that's 100%.
Right. Yeah, I have. I mean, I'm messing with it, and some of the guys I do notice, like I room with Alex Davis in the MPFLs and Clausen, and like Alex's hook sets a lot quicker than mine. Like it's yeah, I don't. I'm a more of like get the bite, kind of give him a second, then hit him. He's more like hits him instantly, and he seems to hook him a lot better. um,
Mm,
Compared to like I'm like, oh, there's one, and then by then they already dropped it, or spit it out. Like they actually
yeah.
didn't commit to it. Um,
Yeah.
so I don't know. I don't know if that's a thing too, because some guys are like, oh, I hook them great with it, and um, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's I've heard that too, and our conversations have been um about that bait have been like, yeah, a lot of guys are saying that you got to set on the strike because I'm
Hmm.
like you, like I know you throw that general around, and
Yeah,
it's like you're better off just letting them have it for a
yeah,
minute,
yeah, yeah. Give them a little bit. Yeah, yeah. And
No
I'm
hurry.
always throwing braid too, so like I'm always giving them that little bit longer, so I don't rip it away from them.
Yeah,
And I think that is something I haven't messed with, but I think once I start throwing it more on braid, I think maybe that will help. I just haven't got that far with it
yeah. Well, when you figure it out, send me the
yet.
text.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah, yeah.
we're we're working on it, but it's but I want to talk about this shad spawn a little bit because we kind of stumbled onto that part of the conversation. Have you experienced that through the summer? Do you know? Does that go on through the summer?
I think in certain places it does, and I think you do. Like sometimes you'll get like you get like a lot of rain, like what we had, and
Hmm.
you get a lot of rain and it kind of cools that water down a little bit when it's getting too hot. And I think that triggers a lot of things, can re-trigger that shad spawn, can re-trigger a bluegill spawn, can shut down a bluegill spawn. It could start a bass spawn, if it cools down enough. Um, so yeah, I think it can fire off for sure at weird, because I mean you always hear it sometime, and you're like, oh, this guy's like, oh, I got on a shad spawn, and be like, man, we're in the middle of summer. What's this guy talking about?
Right.
Like, and And it happens. And you know what's a crazy thing was, I think we were maybe on Cherokee last year or something, and it was unreal. The shad spawn got better as the day went on, which was, usually it's like a morning, evening kind of thing. Uh, but like when we were at 10 Killer, it got better as the day went. Like it wasn't even happening in the mornings. I think because it was kind of maybe the water temp wasn't right or what. But as the day went on, at least one of the days of the tournament that I remember well, man, it got really good. Like 11, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock. It like all of a sudden you got shad all over your spinner bait, and yeah, I mean
Wow.
it's. I think it can pop up at different times, and I don't really know when. I mean, when is the shad spawn supposed to like? When is
Yeah.
it in its prime? Like I don't. I can't even. I don't even know because I feel like it's all over the place a lot of times.
And well, with the different lakes, it's kind of it seems to change. And I'm like you, I'm hunting for answers
Mm-hmm.
so that you can predict a little bit better. But
Right.
typically, right, it occurs after the bass spawn, right?
Right.
That's the heyday of the
Yeah.
shad spawn,
Right.
and but then it can go on. The bluegills are the same way. The
Yeah.
bluegills kind of infiltrate the spawning flats after the bass are done with them,
Right.
but then, you guys in Florida, man, I hear guys catching them off bluegill beds now and through the summer too.
Yeah. Yeah. Florida is a whole different, the more I fish, I mean, I've fished down here my whole life, but the more I'm down here, I'm always in shock, like, oh my gosh, what is going on? You see a couple fish on bed and it's like June, and,
Yeah,
it is, it's very, Florida is just a different place, especially the further south you go. When you get down, like I'm in Central Florida, but when you get down, down there where JT is and down there, Palm Bay and all that. Like, I mean, it's crazy. You got fish on beds in November,
right.
and then you have multiple bluegill spawns over. Like, it seems like every time you can find them, you got peacock bass down there bedding all summer. They seem like they bet. The peacocks seem like they bed every 2 weeks. It's pretty crazy down there. But
But
yeah, it is wild because I was even thinking back. You remember when Skeet won the classic at where was it at? It was at Red River. You remember? And that was
yep,
early. That was an early March. It was kind of cool bass. Water. I don't know if the bass were quite spawning yet, but they were maybe getting there. And he won with that shad spawn and the lily pad stems. Like in the mornings. Like, so I guess it really depends on what body of water you're on and what's going on, But
yeah, that's my objective. John, we're talking about something that I got. We got to shed light on this. Like,
yeah.
I want the biologists to
Yeah.
weigh in.
We
Like,
need we need to find someone because is it a water temp? I
is it a
mean,
moon? Is it a moon thing?
is it a moon phase?
Is
Yeah.
it
I
a
mean,
length of day? Is it a water
yeah.
temp situation? Your theory about cooling water temperatures triggering a spawn is pretty fascinating.
Mm.
That's interesting to me. I never thought about it like that, but that could do it too.
Yeah, yeah. That definitely that. I mean, that's kind of what I've just noticed. You figure you go every week to these tournaments, you practice, you fish the tournament, and always finding how like the lake kind of lays out differently with water temp, and that's kind of like where you find whether you're going to chase the bass spawn, the bluegill spawn, or the shad spawn. You know,
Hmm.
that's what I guess that's kind of what I do. I kind of chase whatever I can find for that time we're there. From those three things, and
Right.
um,
Well, that man, that makes perfect sense for your style, right?
mhm.
Because no matter the season, if there's a shad or a bluegill spawn going on, it's gonna pull fish from way out on the
Yeah,
ledges right up
yeah,
on the bank.
yeah. Bring them right in. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big deal. How about the one thing that's a big deal around my house? What have you seen? The carp spawn
Mm,
drive fish shallow an awful lot
mm,
here, and it not for the carp themselves, but the eggs that they deposit bring the
right.
bait in,
Yep.
and the carp spawn can keep fish on the bank in the middle of
Mhm.
summer. Have you seen that in Florida and other places?
Well, I don't. We don't have. we don't have the carp down here as much. Like we do
Really?
when you get further north. Yeah, we don't really have we have more of like a tilapia spawn that happens like really late. Well, like
Okay.
kind of like when the water temp gets in the 80s, and
Yep.
that's similar. Like I mean, you can you get guys and they're like, oh man, I've been I was fishing around tilapia beds catching these giant bass, or they think the bass are bedding on these giant white spots, but a lot of times what's happening is those bluegills are coming up after the tilapia babies the same way they do bass, and except the tilapia, I think they keep their babies in their mouth until they hatch, but their eggs and stuff. The but those bluegills are right around them tilapia beds, so you're casting to them, and those bass sit right off them in the shadows, waiting for a tilapia to run a bluegill off, and then the bass get them. So a lot of times, that's like what's happening here. But to go back to the carp thing's nuts. Like especially in clear lakes, when you start getting further north or your way, they'll stir up the water. They'll get
Hmm.
like they'll keep like backs of the pockets with some stain, and man, I think they just, a lot of those fish in those clear lakes like to get to that stained water because they're able to ambush fish a little bit easier. Like you said, there's all kinds of bait up there eating their eggs and stuff. Yeah, the carp. I always forget about the carp song, but it is a really uh,
Yeah.
neat kind, and that's the kind of same thing too. Like sometimes that's early spring, and they're up there doing their thing, and then same thing that later in the year you can find it in some places too.
Yep. Yep. And a lot of guys get spooked, like you said. It can stain the water and
Mhm.
turn guys get turned off by that,
Mhm.
but don't.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Get in there. Throw that spinnerbait around. Yeah,
Yes, throw
yeah,
that sucker around,
yeah.
and that'll be going on, and that takes place after the bass get done spawning, and that goes on, for months, or for a month after the bass are done spawning.
Mhm.
So there's this is why John Cox stays shallow. There's always something going on in the dirt.
Something. Yeah,
You
yeah,
just
yeah.
got
And I don't even like even to the whole crawdad thing. I don't.
mm,
That's been one thing probably over the shad spawn that I've been trying to wrap my head around, and there's just not a lot of information on it, and it's very hard um, to see a lot of that happen because they're not a lot of whatever the crawdads are doing. They're not visual. You can't visually see them do it like shad and bluegill and stuff like that. But there's all kinds of times where you're like, man, look at all these crawls that they're spitting up, and there's like some kind of something going on. I
yeah.
don't know. I don't know if what the crawdads do. I don't know how if there's like a crawdad mating season or what. But I
Uh,
don't. But that's something that really interests me. I would love to watch a crawdad documentary
It's
one day.
yeah, we're coming. We're Bass U. I'm charging Bass University with bringing that to the masses.
We can make that happen.
We're gonna make that happen. We're
Yeah,
gonna make
yeah,
that happen for sure,
yeah.
because it's crazy with that. Because I'm there's the crawfish molt, which
Yeah,
can take place during a full moon. Some people
right.
say, and that spurt makes fish go crazy. I've you fish the Potomac. I've this, one of the coolest things that I've seen on the Potomac. I've never seen this anywhere in my life. Maybe you have in Florida. I don't know, but the crawfish are so prevalent in certain areas. Like you
Right.
can see them up on the mats, like
Re-
crawling across the hydrilla
Wow.
mats,
Yeah.
and they're just everywhere.
Yeah.
Like you can bring your bait through an area, and they'll you ever see shrimp run from a
Yep.
spinner bait
Yep.
or something,
Yep.
or run
Yep.
from a bass even?
Yeah.
That's what the crawl they do that. They scoot like shrimp
Yeah. Yeah.
across the surface when they get that prevalent, and the seagulls just come down and just gorge on
Yeah.
crawfish in the heat of the summer.
Yeah.
This is a big time, and I don't know what they're doing, John. Are
Yeah.
they reproduce? They got to reproduce somehow,
That's
right?
what I'm wondering. Yeah, if it's some kind of crawfish mating season or something. I don't know. It's
Weird.
wild. That's kind of the stuff that really intrigues me about fishing is all these like it's not you're just not out there just out chunking around. Like there's so many uh, little other details with nature and the lakes and stuff that that if you can put that together, you set up for a really good day of fishing.
Yeah, yeah, no kidding. Um, by the way, Chuck's talking about he's in Michigan. His bluegills spawn on every full moon,
Mhm.
and they had a crawfish seminar at the kayak series tournament at the Bass U brunch. So we
Oh,
got to get a copy of that, Chuck. I
yeah,
don't
I
have a
gotta watch
copy of
that.
that
I
kayak.
missed that one.
We definitely need that. So shallow water, man. Let me ask you this: do you ever go deep?
No, I mean, today it was funny. My wife, we didn't catch anything right off the back, and she's like, "Hey, take us out there to the middle." And I'm like, "Nah." And then finally, we weren't getting any bites first thing. And we went out there and we started catching them. And I was like, I just get pulled to the bank, And then we
Yeah,
finally found them on the bank and caught them, like every cast. But um, man, I just don't like it. I don't enjoy it. I don't
yeah,
know.
yeah.
I don't.
Well,
I can't. I don't. I mean, and I know they get out there, and I've called them out. Like, I mean, I remember when side scan first came out, and I would idle for months. I'd stay at a lake forever. I'd idle. I'd find everything I could, and I just didn't like it. And it was like, yeah.
yeah,
So
I get
I
it.
like
I
I
get.
like to see what's going on. I feel like when you're out there, you well now with scope and stuff, you can see a lot more. You can kind of see like what the shad are doing, what now we know like what the bass fry are doing. You can kind of watch all that offshore. But before all that, the only time you could really watch anything was right on the bank in clear water. You couldn't really see all that was happening out deep,
Mhm.
and I think that's why I kind of just I go elsewhere. I get out there and I'm like thinking of other stuff. I'm like, oh man, I get on the bank, I can actually kind of take it
You're
all in and try to break it down a lot easier.
you're
But
engaged. You're engaged.
yeah.
Let me ask you this, because
Mhm.
I see a couple questions. I'm going to get to them, guys. But the mental side of it, like
Mhm.
you talk about summertime shallow fishing, it's going to be a grind, right? The
Mhm.
the dominant patterns are ledges
Mhm.
or scoping or something
Yeah.
offshore.
Yeah.
That you have a tremendously positive attitude. Like
Yeah.
that's why I always love being around you. It's just
Mm.
positive energy all the time. Do you lose that? Like, how do you keep that when you're going to be, man, five
Well,
bites?
yeah, and it is, and I'll have to say it has tested my patience. I mean, even like this year, it's like, this year I've like missed so many checks by ounces, and like
Mm,
I don't know, I can't figure out why. It's been like just a coincidence every time, and there's some, I'm being taught some lesson right now that I don't understand. We don't see it now either.
right.
But then the other day, well, last night it was like lightning, and I was like, man, we're gonna die out here. We got to load it up, and we loaded it up. And as we were driving home, the sun broke through, and I mean, it was like the most incredible sunset. So I'm thinking like, man, maybe this is the storm going on, and then all of a sudden, maybe next year it's gonna, maybe it's all gonna get better. I don't know, but
Uh,
but yeah, when you're going when you're going for 5 bites, you have first thing in the morning. You have to land on something in the morning because that's like crucial. And then you're kind of just going for a bite. Trying to get a bite throughout the day, waiting for some clouds, maybe some rain. Um, and that's it.
wow,
It's just knowing in those that your window to catch them is so small that you have to be ready. And I mean it's worked sometimes it's been a disaster. um but I love
sure.
that. I love trying to predict. I look at the weather. I'm like, okay, I got rain coming in the evening. I need to be in this area at that time. I got 2 3 hours, 4 hours middle of the day, gonna have no clouds, no wind. It's gonna just be miserably hot. Where am I going to go there to get a bite or two, and yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. Trying to
What?
figure out, piece the puzzle together.
All right. What do you lose it? Does John Cox have a meltdown? What does that
uh
look like if that ever happens?
I probably I guess you'd have to ask my wife that one. Probably when I'm home, I sometimes will lose it. like if I'm rethinking something, trying to like, like a lot of times it's usually my own fault why something doesn't work out. Like I either try to overdo something or completely misread, the weather or wind or whatever. And so I mean that part, but I mean I'm fishing. I'm getting to fish I love to go fishing. So I mean that's like, I just tell myself I'm like, man, I've been able to fish every day pretty much. I mean I was thinking like I've probably fished a tournament almost every Saturday since I was probably 12 or 13, like every Saturday or so. I mean,
Are you
it just
kidding?
no, because I mean, you got to think like me. As soon as I started fishing John Boat Club, I mean, it was like jumped in the John Boat Club. Me and Keith jumped in this other trail. I had to fish with another guy. Like we fished tournaments every weekend the whole time growing up. And
Wow.
and I'm like, man, for me to be able to do that, all the way, I'm 40 now. I mean, it's a miracle. It's a miracle I'm able to feed my kids and I have a house. I'm not living with my parents. Like, I mean, it's crazy. So I can't get mad when it doesn't work out.
Oh,
I just
that's
can't.
yeah. I've known that about you, and
Mm,
your mental attitude and your mindset is admirable. Like, you just can't you aspire to be like you because I scream when things aren't going well, and when I have some meltdowns out there, not as
yeah.
bad as some other guys, but
Yeah.
you know, but it's awesome to see. But that what I know about you. Uh, from the times we've been around is how much you love fishing and you
Mm.
do it all the time. Like, you leave a tournament, good, bad, and otherwise, and you've got another fishing trip planned.
Oh yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you're going out all the time, and that's what I'm seeing in the Fisher Anayas, the Trey
Mm.
McKinneys, the young guns, and the college guys that are just they're fishing 320 days a year,
Yeah.
and that's getting them to the next level. But you invented that.
No, I don't know. I don't know. You know, I, I don't know. I don't really know what else I would have done. I mean,
That's all.
I don't know.
What would John Cox be? What would John Cox be doing
God,
right now if if he wasn't fishing every day?
gosh, I don't know. That's why like I think now I realize more than ever before when I was younger, like how important it is uh to, man, anytime you can take somebody, take them out there. Because I mean, you just think of I mean, that it's just some people don't get it. Like some people go out, they'll catch a fish, they're like, yeah. But man,
Yeah.
if you take that one person, they go out and catch that. I mean, it could change their life.
Yeah.
Hopefully for the better. And they don't. Sometimes you can get addicted to buying tackle, and like it can get out of control. But there's a lot of other worse things that could be going on.
Yep.
So.
Them quickie balls are going for like
Man,
300
I'm
bucks a
telling
pop.
you, I got a lot of them. I probably need to get rid of some of them, but
Yeah, no kidding.
yeah,
Don't tell anybody. Yeah.
yeah.
You could
Send me a message on Instagram if anybody wants to buy any of them.
you could fund all next season if you
Yeah,
got a
I know,
box of
right? Yeah,
them.
that's what every time I missed the check this year, I was like, oh, I'm gonna sell 10 of those things as soon as I get home.
That's a great way to do it, man.
But I can't. I haven't been. I've like I'm I guess I'm a little bit of a hoarder, So I just can't. I can't part from them, Yeah.
Yeah, I got you. Well,
Yeah.
that's understandable. And well, you got I can never get the name right. The Berkeley Meba, right? Is it
Yeah,
Meba?
Miva. Yeah, yeah, and
Okay.
I do. They did a really good job.
Mhm.
Kyle and Dan. I mean, they at Spirit Lake. They did a really good job on that one. I think Peg South helped them too. I think to get the sink rate right, and
Yeah, yeah,
and I think that's something a lot of people are like trying to figure out some. And with the other ones that float on their own, you got to add weight. They got it to where it falls. It gets under the water just perfect and get down if you want it to. And
yep, yep.
yeah.
Well, you're gonna have to use it now, John. You're
I
like
know.
you
Well,
got to get out there
that's
and fish it.
I know that's my problem though. I throw a couple of casts and then it's like, man, like let me pick this frog up or let me pick the jig up or let me throw this spinner bait. It's
Hey,
yeah.
you know what I found with it,
Mm.
because we've like invested in it. Like we got introduced to Logan Park's Insane tournament this
Mm.
past November. My son participated there, and we got to see it in action with the spots.
Mhm.
You know, so it was like the dominant weapon on that
Yeah.
lake, and then we we found, and it's just weird. It's like it's like lake specific. Like
Yep.
it seems like there's certain lakes that they're on fire for it,
Mhm.
and other lakes you're better off throwing something else.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the other thing I was thinking too, because I keep wondering, like, is this like a seasonal thing? Like, is it hot in the pre-spawn, and then it was like, oh no, it's hot during the spawn. Oh, it's been hot after the spawn. But it might be more like you're saying, is might be more of a for certain lakes it really dominates,
Yeah.
or maybe
Well,
even parts of the lake. It might even be like a section. I don't know.
I don't know yet either, and I guess we're all watching and learning. Just keep watching guys win with it, so
Yeah.
you know,
Well, I mean,
it's
that last week we were at Logan Martin, and the guy didn't win, but he was leading, up to the last day, and he was just right out in front of where I was, fishing kind of the same stuff, just further out, but he never took it out of his hands, and then it was like, man, if I would have thrown that the whole time, would I have done a little better? I don't know, but
yeah. Well,
um,
it's Chris Johnson. I interviewed him after he won,
mhm.
and in on Santee, and he was saying that guys that were fishing docks in front of him or behind them, the what he was seeing, he was pulling fish out that wouldn't bite anything else. You know.
Yeah, yeah, I saw that firsthand, actually.
Oh no.
Oh,
I
jeez.
didn't mean to open up a wound. What happened? You guys
Oh
were
no, he
sharing
just
some
well,
water?
like first day, I'm like, man, I couldn't get any bites, and I was actually going down a stretch, and then Chris pulled in, and he was getting ready to throw to the dock, and he stopped and he looked at me, and he threw it in reverse, and took off. But I think because he didn't want me to see the throwing the old koiki under there. But yeah, he hammered. I didn't
Ah,
catch nothing under. I don't even think I weighed a dock fish that week, and they were on them. Yeah,
that's crazy. The way
yeah,
we got to see it, but
yeah,
in talking to him about it was insane. It's like you would throw under there and think that there's nothing
yeah,
using docks, and nobody's really ever caught him off of those docks, like
yeah.
to dominate a tournament on
Right,
Santee.
right. Yeah,
But it seems like they've been there the whole time. We just needed a better tool to get them.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's for sure.
That
Crazy.
sucker yeah, that sucker
Yeah.
found it that day,
Oh, yeah.
and, and figured out, his strike to catch looked pretty good,
Yeah, yeah. He was
he
catching the same day. I mean, I didn't watch much when Christie won the other day, but I mean, I imagine he seemed like he was catching them.
yeah.
So I don't know.
What was, a different tournament?
Oh no, when Christie won at one we were just
The
at.
the Pascatank.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yep,
Mhm.
yep. Well, he was throwing the frog hook, the dual
Yeah,
frog hook, and he was just, I mean, putting it to him with a big
yeah,
stick. And
yeah,
Johnson was using a treble hook, and he still had a pretty powerful rod. It looked
yeah,
like to me as
yeah.
I'm, examining this and trying to figure out our strike to catch issues.
Right,
So
right.
I'm watching what these guys are doing, but they caught most of them. One of the biggest problems is trying to keep that sucker on,
Right.
because like the rigging that Christie was using keeps the bait.
Yeah.
The
Holds it in
rigging,
place. Yeah.
yeah, the rigging that Johnston was using, that sucker can fly off if
Right.
because
Yeah.
it's on that one treble. But
Yeah. Yeah, then Alex, he won the Lay Lake one in between those and the MPFL, and I mean he just did the big flipping hook in it, you know.
really,
Yeah, yeah, neat. I mean, it's funny. Like I came in early in the evenings, and we fish off the dock at our house for that tournament, and I fished it for like a couple days. I caught like one fish, and Alex comes out there and he's like, "Let me show you how to throw this thing." And he throws it out, and he catches one, and they're like 3 pounders. Throws out, catches another one. Throws out, catches another one. I was like, "Oh my god!" And he rigged me up and everything, and I still couldn't catch him on it.
wow.
But yeah,
What
wow.
was his rigging? Like a straight shank, like four
Yeah,
aught,
he
or
was doing like just a flipping hook and just hooking it through and pushing it up on it and weighting it, and
okay.
yeah, I mean it, and he won the tournament there at Lake. I think he led it every day.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, That's we got to keep playing around with that. We had a couple questions here. One of course is why does John Cox never have live scope? Do you use it up in the shallow water? Have you adopted it up there? You just
I
keeping it off
mean,
your boat?
yeah, I don't have it on my boat, but I don't have anything anymore. I lost the side scan one at Columbus Pool, and I've just been too lazy to put another one on. But um, but
Keeping
I
it
fished
so simple. I love it,
yeah,
man.
I fished those fake tournaments, or the tournaments that weren't real, the team ones with Keith at the beginning of the year, and he
I'm,
has it. He has it set up pretty nice, and
yeah,
like we caught him cranking with it and stuff, and I mean, it was cool and stuff, and it does. I mean, it is definitely really effective. Like, I mean, some of our cranking spots where we would catch one or two and leave, like,
hmm
you know, you pointed over there, you're like, oh man, there's 15 sitting there. So we would
right.
sit there for 30 minutes, and we caught all of them, but the one I lost, that Keith, I swear it was a gar, but he said it when he was watching the screen. He said it was a big one, but
Yeah.
but but yeah, but I don't know. I mean, I just, you know, I don't know. I just don't. No, not into it. I don't know. Hey, not to
But
say though, I'm telling you. So there's no way I'm going to make the classic. I'm so far back in points. Um, but I am really considering when we get done at Champlain, we have 5 days off, and I think I'm going to just break down, put it on, get ready for the St. Lawrence, and go out there because because I mean we know it's going to be one at St. Lawrence on the with the
mhm.
you know with it. Um, so I'm gonna put it on. Go see what happens. You know, why not?
Yeah.
But
7 or 8 or 10 years later, why not? Why not just put
yeah,
it
why
on there?
not? I just
Why
put it
not?
on for the one. But
Yeah. Do you yeah, Champlain's going to be interesting because you're not going to have it,
yeah,
and that'll be fun to watch that tournament. What do you do with Thousand Islands? I mean, there's so many largemouth up there. Do you
yeah,
ever dial in on that?
yeah. I've been wanting to, and I just never, I never, uh, I guess I run out of time. And I've
Hmm.
caught some, but it is hard because, any throw could be a 5 pound smallmouth, and I've never
Hmm.
really I don't know the largemouth stuff enough to feel comfortable. Like I know they're in a lot of places, but you catch a lot of like 2, 3, occasional 4 pound largemouth. Um, but I don't know, changes every year, So I don't know. Maybe one year I'll try to dial in the largemouth a little bit, but I don't know. I always when I get up and you go up there, we only fish with the smallmouth for that short window when we get to go up there, so
Yeah.
it's hard not to. And
Uh,
the St. Lawrence with all the current, usually there's decent schools up shallow and but they are getting smarter. That was they are definitely getting a lot smarter.
there's a lot of fishing pressure up there these days. We vacation up there in August every year.
Hmm.
And the I'm like there's just a lot of boats.
Yeah,
You'll be there during the week and you'll go to an area like God, I shouldn't see anybody here and there might be
yeah,
2 or 3 boats there, but
yeah.
it is a massive body of water. But the river in particular, it gets a ton of pressure. The lake
Mhm.
always seems to survive it because the wind just never lets you fish it the way you want
Yeah,
to, you
right,
know?
right. Yeah,
So it doesn't quite get as much fishing pressure out there, but
right.
it'll be awful fun to watch you guys go out there in this northern swing. You're taking a little bit of a northern swing. What you got going on up at Minnesota? You just going fun fishing?
Yeah. So I have a part time job up there with WSB. So their office is up there. So I'm gonna maybe stop in, see some of the guys, and then yeah, fish a couple days.
That's cool. Where do you
Yeah.
fish?
I don't know. I don't know if we're gonna go. We'll probably go down maybe to the Mississippi River,
Mhm.
like maybe the pools above Lacrosse, maybe there, and then some of the ponds. I fished up there last summer some, and just all the lakes up there are great. You can just you can look on the map. You're like, oh, there's a ramp at this one. Go to that one. Go. You can fish a new. And honestly, I probably fished because I've gone up there quite a. Try to go up there at least a week every year. And like, I mean, I think I've been to just a different lake. Uh,
Yeah.
every day I've been there, so it's just cool. It's kind of like. kind of like what we have in Florida, like around Orlando. We got a lot of little ponds you can pond jump and stuff.
Mhm.
It's up there is a little nicer because it's not you're not driving through the city and stuff. You're not in traffic for like hours. You gotta get outside the city and
Yeah.
go to all those lakes up there.
I
It's cool.
it's cool. I've
Yeah.
been up there. I fished Minnetonka. I fished that,
Yeah.
outside of Minnesota, and it's like New York State lakes
Yeah.
kind of,
Yeah. Just like it. Yeah.
eh,
Yeah.
milfoil grass, rocks, and
Hmm.
bass everywhere,
Yeah,
you know?
bass there. And you'll go down a dirt road for a couple miles and there'll be this one little ramp, no trailers, nothing. You dump
That
in and
that
have the best time ever. Yeah.
that's cool. I was thinking about that when I was gonna, talk to you today, like, the how is accessing water? I know you're always looking to access water and you go to launch ramps
Mhm.
that you to practice and stuff. What do you deal with when you can't find a ramp? Do you put that boat in places you maybe shouldn't try to launch
Oh,
it?
yeah. I mean, that's kind of why the wife's transmission has gone out probably about every year because I always seem to on the when we're exploring, we always seem to take her suburban, but yeah, I mean, a lot of times you just dump it in, like there's some of the best places. You're like, oh man, I think I can dump it in here, and you just dump it in and then 4-wheel drive it out and. But
That's
yeah, I mean,
awesome.
yeah, a lot of times though, you can usually find some kind of ramp at a lot of these places, and yeah, it's
Yeah,
it's fun though. That is one thing I enjoy doing. So when I'm home or when we're fun fishing, we're always like exploring new places and stuff that we haven't seen, and yeah, see,
yeah,
sometimes we don't catch anything. Sometimes it's like, oh man, this place is great, and
yeah.
yeah,
Well,
it's a
I
lot of
still
fun.
I want you invite you guys to go check out John's content at Bass University. One of which, uh, it was just jumping sandbars,
Oh
and
yeah, yeah,
I'm like, hey, would you jump a sandbar for us? He was like, yeah, sure. What do you want? What do you need? You need me to jump a rock jetty? You need me to jump a building? What do you need? No
yeah,
problem.
yeah, yeah,
That's so
yeah,
that's so cool, man. But you are
yeah.
the shallow water guru, and I have a few questions for you.
Okay.
This is our rapid fire section.
Okay.
Favorite shallow water bait?
Man, I'm probably torn with the Swamp Lord, the frog. That's probably one of my most favorite, enjoyable ones to throw. But I want to say probably the uh, most consistent one would be like a jig with either like a max scent stink bug or a meaty chunk trailer or some kind of max scent trailer on it.
Heck yeah, yeah. And yeah, we talk about the trailers you use and how you fish your swim jigs.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, and bass you. You already said your favorite frog. That was my next one.
Mm.
Well, let me ask you this: what is your favorite swamp lord? What's the color or style? What's your favorite one?
Oh well, I so happened to just brought one with me.
There it is.
That one there, the bluegill color one, that one's my favorite.
Okay.
Um, I don't know when, but we might have some new sizes coming, which are pretty exciting. So,
Are bigger or smaller?
uh, smaller.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know when. I'm pretty soon, but yeah, they're really good. I really like them. And they did a good job on them too. I mean, you know, I don't. It's my frog box is just Swamp Lords now. Now with the new
Yeah.
sizes, like you know, I have a box with just all the popping and the walking ones. So
Man,
yeah,
they're just doing such a great job with their baits, uh,
yeah, yeah.
and rolling out with the lab series, selling out immediately.
Oh yeah, geez, yeah. The
And
lab series is pretty neat. I don't. Did you see any of it with it's like water activated, and then
oh
when you
man, I was there. We did one of the first exposures to it. They
yeah,
invited us to come. I appreciated that, and we
yeah,
got to see that slime, that purple slime coming
yeah.
off of it.
Yeah,
Which
yeah.
they
That's
did.
at first I was like, man, I was like, what about after you like catch one and it's all slippery, rehooking it, and then I was like, man, and once I started throwing it, I was like, oh my gosh, like I was like, I'll figure out how to get it hooked back on that hook.
Yeah, that's awesome. It goes and wins the classic right out of the gate, you know?
I know. Yeah. That's what the first day I threw it, I caught a 10 something off a bed. Dude, I couldn't believe it.
No kidding.
Yeah, yeah. I caught a bunch of fish that day, but I was just taking it and Texas rigging it like you would do a fluke style jerk bait or whatever, a soft jerk
Okay.
bait. Just Texas rig with an EWG. I had it on like 40-pound braid, and I was just twitching it through eelgrass and letting it sink in holes and stuff. I mean, it it caught the grab out of him.
Man,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
good. Good stuff. Well, what's John Cox's favorite lake?
Oh man, it was probably Champlain um, for the longest time. Now it's, I still like Champlain, but it's kind of different than it used to be. Um, but I would probably, geez, I honestly, I'd have to go with some of those smaller lakes, like in between Champlain and St. Lawrence. In the Adirondack Mountains there. I think some of those would be some of my favorite. And then where I'm going tomorrow, going up to Minnesota there, some of those little ponds and stuff. We just have a blast. Like, top water action, you name it, you can catch some bass, and it's just a lot of fun.
That sounds amazing.
Mhm.
Is bass your favorite fish to catch?
I've tried a lot. I've been trying the redfish stuff. Can't seem to figure it out at all. Which everybody says is so easy, but it's really not. Um,
Okay.
but yeah, I love, that's the whole thing. Like just how we were talking about all the different things that happen that bring them to the bank, and that's, I think that there's so much to them, how they move and like what they do, like how they move throughout the season. Like that's the stuff I think that really, that makes it
Yeah.
why I like them more than, I
Yeah.
mean, I guess I don't know.
Hey,
I haven't
bass is.
found anything else that's, I'm like, oh, this is cool. Like, I don't, yeah,
I like it all, but
yeah,
I'm with you, man. I'm
yeah.
all about the bass. What's your shallow water guy all time favorite month to be on the bank?
Ooh, gosh. Yeah, of course, like anytime during the spawn is usually the best. Um, for catching big ones, that weigh the most. But man, I'm telling you, it's like as soon as they come off the beds in some of these lakes, and you get those big ones up shallow, feed in, either, where they're just cruising, like they're like they need to get a meal because they just got done spawning. That's kind of the, so that, like, end of March, April, May time. That's usually my favorite.
That's all. All right. I'm going to ask you this question: do you smile because you're catching fish, or do you catch fish because you're smiling?
Gosh, I don't know. I mean, I well, I mean, I I weighed -1 day one of the Bassmaster Elite and was smiling. So I don't
It's a
I don't know.
gift.
Yeah,
It,
to me it's nuts. It's nuts that we're even here and you're interviewing me, asking me questions about bass fishing. I just, I'm still waiting to feel that, like, I've watched you my whole life, like I don't,
that's
it's
awesome.
weird that I'm here, like, I'm waiting to feel like an adult one of these days, but
Don't
just,
let it happen,
well,
John.
I don't.
Don't let
It's
that
funny. So
in.
I got a haircut the other day. It can't see now, but the lady like combed it over, and I was like, "Oh my!" I actually looked my age. I was like, "Oh my gosh!" But yeah. But I still haven't felt it yet, so I don't know.
Don't. I got the gray on my face. I've had it there for a while these days, but
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Look at mine coming in here.
there it
Look.
is. Look
Mm,
at that. What are you? What are you? Are you in your 40s yet?
yeah, I'm gonna be 41 in December.
Okay. All right.
Oh,
Hey,
crazy.
you got plenty of time, man.
Plenty of time. Hope
So
so.
many guys have been dominant in their 40s in their
Yeah,
fishing
man,
career.
that's what I remember watching, but I don't know. I don't know, Pete. Might be a thing in the past.
Well, it's certainly changing, but
Yeah,
I
but it does,
think
like, was seeing Christy win the other day, and then Hank win earlier in the season and stuff like it was, you know,
Yeah. That was
game
crazy.
of hope.
Breaking out that old school
Oh
grub
my
to win that
gosh, isn't
tournament.
that crazy?
That was nuts.
Crazy. And it's crazy where he caught him. I went over there one of the days of practice and I was like, oh, this is usually good. And the wind had it kind of muddied up and like the coots had like grass everywhere. And I was like, I wrote it off. And then I watched him the last day win the tournament there. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Oh man,
But
that was
wow.
amazing. Amazing win. Well, man, it's great hanging out with you as always. You coming up to the Chesapeake Way anytime we're going fishing. You just let me
Okay,
know
let's do that.
when you're up this way. We got our grass flats are clearing up, and
Really?
yeah, we got big rain. We got all this rain. We got inches of rain that just passed through. So we got a freshwater blast all over the upper Chesapeake one.
Wow.
Well, I'm expecting that to keep the summertime bite going up here for a while.
Nice.
So we're gonna enjoy that, and we're gonna enjoy. I'm gonna enjoy watching you guys, man. I love Champlain too. I love Thousand Islands. It's going to be a fun couple of tournaments, and I wish you all the best. We're all going to be watching where you decide to fish, and
Yeah.
hope you make those cuts, buddy.
I hope so. Gosh,
Well,
that'd be great.
I appreciate you getting off the water and joining us today, and good luck the rest of the season. We'll catch up with you real soon.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, Pete.
You bet. John Cox, everybody. Look, just such a great attitude. Love it. Love his capabilities to just get it done in the shallow water. Has been winning down there for years, winning that way for years, and continues to do it. Continues to fish his way. Love it. Guys, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be back with some more Bass University Live.
We're off the clock to clock more fish, to fill our live wells and empty our coolers, because there's more to explore. The latest Humminbird fish finders work fast, see clearly, and know all the best spots. They fish even smarter paired with the Minn Kota and break down the water like never before. If you like your plans loose and lines tight, then it's time to explore. Only with Humminbird. Get right to the fight. New Mega Live 2 forward-facing sonar puts you on more fish with an ultra-clear, rock-solid picture of underwater action. Next-gen clarity, next-level fun. Only with Humminbird.
That is the critical thing, because you've got to be comfortable jerking that jerkbait around your body. You're always going to be working it with your rod tip down, maybe a little bit to the side.
You're going to lose traction on that fish. He's going to floss off because he's got this big heavy weight flopping out of his mouth.
And to a bass, that signals in their brain that that is an easy meat.
They want to feed up, but they don't want to lose that object. That fish was shallow. He was parallel to where I'm standing.
Reading that screen, watching, throwing, casting, learning.
At Whitewater Fishing Gear, we build gear for the days that test your commitment. The ones launching before daylight, staying out when the wind picks up, and fishing through conditions most guys avoid. Engineered for protection, mobility, and all-day comfort. Built to perform when conditions turn rough, so you stay focused on the pursuit no matter how the elements shift. Whitewater Fishing Gear, built to brave the waves.
When the sun's up and the bite's on, clarity is everything. That's why serious anglers trust Redfin. Built for the water, designed for performance. Lightweight frames, crystal clear optics, and rugged durability that stands up to long days on the water. Thanks to Zeiss Repel technology, water, oil, and even sunscreen just slides right off the lenses. Your vision stays crystal clear. See more, fish smarter, and protect your eyes with Redfin. Redfin polarized sunglasses. Comfort, clarity, contrast.
Mother Nature may be tough. I'm tougher. I'll take you where chaos is the cost of entry and where the fish are worth the fight. Because the bigger the question marks, the better the quest.
Good to have all you guys with us. Appreciate the questions and the comments. And we're going to check out Dr. Reed Morehouse, Dr. Mudbug. Need to connect with him, Chuck. I'm going to do that exact thing. And we want to dive into the bait fish, because although we fish all the time and we see these things happening, having a true understanding of it is our mission. A greater understanding of it for sure. Want to invite you guys to download the app Pake South. We came up in today's show, having to do with the design of the Meba bait, which I always struggle with. I don't know why, but Pake South talking about big worms coming up on Thursday, and Tristan McCormick's going the other way with some finesse techniques. So we're going power and finesse the next couple of weeks at Bass University. We're going to be taking a break from Bass University Live next week as we're down working at ICAST, and we'll keep you guys posted and involved with all the people that we're working with down there and all the new baits and tools that are coming out and going to be launched down there. So we'll be away from Bass University Live next week, and Scott Martin is going to be with us the week after. So really looking forward to catching up with Scott. Haven't talked to him for a minute. And I see him and his daughter and his father, Roland, of course, all over social media doing some amazing things in the fishing biz. So look for that coming upcoming for Bass University. Justin, let's pull them up. We got Jim and Lenny, sub of the week, some PA guys sporting the Bass U logo. I bet you they look like some Chesapeake bass to me, I'm sure. And the bags are coming in. Even at the summertime, the bags seem to be slowing down as far as depth goes, down the leaderboard. But a 26-pound stringer won again in the heat of the summer. What an amazing catch that was. So congratulations to those guys. And we had been circling around fishing Merrill Creek Reservoir, a little bit down at Manasquan Reservoir, the Delaware River. So we've been moving around a bit, fishing some different bodies of water, different styles of fishing. But I look forward to getting back into the Chesapeake for a few trips. Love the summertime grass fishing down there. The current, the grass, we got a lot of fresh water coming in. So look for some good things to be happening down there. Let's see. Seems like all the KAS Bass U brunch seminars should be recorded and made available on the app. Well, great advice, guys. Go check that stuff out. When you're looking at shallow water, do you look for little depth change for bigger bass? Man, that's a great question. Do you look for depth change in the shallow water? If John was here, I'd let him weigh on it. I fish shallow water all the time. I'm going to weigh in on it. Absolutely. It makes all the difference. When we fish, flats, I fish a lot of shallow grass flats, and 6 to 12 inches change in depth makes all the difference. It can, it can really congregate bass, and it makes a lot of difference. A lot of times the grass will tell you too when the depth has changed. When you're fishing on the big grass flats like I like to fish, it will definitely clue you in that the slightly deeper water will have thicker, more dense, more healthy grass growth than the more shallow stuff. So it's a little way that I use to find depth changes when I'm fishing on the big, giant, super shallow flats. But in the shallow water, always looking for a depth change. One of the things that we do a lot is we fish in the creeks, and we look for current in the summertime. And one of the best ways to find a depth change is the outside creek turns. The outside turn of any creek is typically going to have slightly deeper water, sometimes undercut banks, more current. And those outside bends are really critical in helping you find some fish. So definitely want to go check that out. Depth is absolutely an important tool that you want to definitely look for, guys. So what a fun deal. Love talking shallow water. Love hanging out with you guys every single Tuesday. We're going to be missing next week. We'll be at ICAST. We will be right back with Scott Martin the week after that. Excited to catch up with him and see what's up with the Martin family, and all that great Florida fishing and fishing all over the country that those guys always do. So look forward to catching up with Scott next week. We will see you then on Bass University Live.